up, guys? We are up. Just double checking on the health of the stream real quick and testing audio and stuff. We are up. Just okay, cool. Sounds pretty good. What's up, everyone? It's a little late, but I'm kind of attached to two things at the moment. I'm really on X, like, looking at this scandal that's apparently growing with Harry Sisson. It's freaking wild. Apparently he is, like, complicit in some serious shit with this girl that that's accusing him of hiding this guy from, like, who's a child predator. And Harry Sisson made this post. Let me see if I can find it. And by the way, if you're not comfortable with talking politics, that's perfectly fine. But this isn't about politics at this point. It's like, dude, this guy is legitimately hiding the actions of a child predator, and it's disgusting. Let me pull up his tweet. So originally Sarah Fields, she made a message to Harry, like a video message, and she's like, you have to like speak up against this now because it's not looking good. And he did. He actually did respond. And he said, in March of 2023, Camille approached me. And Camille is this, like, guy who is trying to be, like, a business manager or something. And it ended up him being, like, some sort of scam artist. But anyway, he approached him with a business opportunity which was eventually revealed to be fraudulent. Camille leveraged this relationship to procure personal information which he used to commit identity theft against me. Camille opened credit cards and incurred tens of thousands of dollars of debt in my name. Around this time, it was brought to my attention that Camille was committing various other crimes, including harming minors. Once I became aware of this, I immediately sought legal advice and upon recommendation gathered evidence and notified federal authorities, becoming the first to contact the FBI and file a police report against him. I had not spoken publicly about any of this at the request of law enforcement and in an effort to protect victims who were actively at risk. Despite our political disagreements, we are aligned on this. It's important for his victims to feel empowered to come forward and put an end to Camille's actions once and for all. So, everything he said is complete bullshit. He literally is just typing out this to cover his ass. Because Harry Sisson is a known pathological narcissist, if not pathological liar, on so many scales. Nothing he says should be taken seriously, and it's including this too. What he did is absolutely heinous, and here is the receipts. But I'm going to play this video. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you what I had to say, but basically this girl, her name's like Hannah, she worked with Harry, or she was best friends with Harry at one point, and it's absolutely absurd. But go ahead and take a look. I'll let you see for yourself.
Harry in summer of 2020. We were both kind of like the original political TikTokers, and we were on the Dem High Pass, which was a huge political TikTok account. Our relationship has always been friend-based. However, when I did go to Jersey to visit my aunt, he has a summer house there, so we did hook up a couple times. So up until about maybe the beginning of 2023, I would have considered Harry one of my best friends. And then Harry started drinking. When Harry started drinking, he started getting a lot more aggressively flirty. These are times in which Harry was getting obliterated drunk and calling, FaceTiming, and saying very sexual things. He started to gain a lot more attention, a lot more of a following. and he created a Discord in which it was a very exclusive Discord. Very strange, creepy people were allowed in the Discord. I was in it for a little bit, but I was like never allowed to talk in it. Harry meets somebody named Camille. I was advised not to pursue an internship or a job with this Camille guy because my dad said he looked sketchy. Harry decided to go ahead and do so. And this is when I started getting messages from a minor, whom I will not say the name, with autism, who was also in the Discord. He was probably around 14 at the time. And he was sending me some concerning things regarding what Camille would send to him. Those are things I cannot show for legal reasons. But you know who was working for him? Harry. I told Harry about everything that Camille was doing. This is a conversation between Camille and the minor in question. Camille texts him, why do they know so many details then? Why do they have screenshots? And in those same texts, you will see him saying he's going to lose a business partner, AKA Harry. Now, Harry would respond with, yeah, that's super messed up. I won't work for him anymore. And then I got this message from the minor saying that Harry still is working for Camille. So I reach out to Harry. And this is the conversation from that little debacle. And then it got to a point wherein I was seeing if I should be contacting the police because this minor happens to be based internationally. He's not in America. And I advised Harry that I'm doing so. And he starts advising me not to do so. So then Harry calls me saying that he's making some federal complaint against Camille. And then I said, okay, we had a little tiff pass behind us, we're homies now. Then asked me for nudes, unsent the message. I had a phone call with the minor. Harry and Camille were working together to try to get me to say something. So if I say anything in the future, I'd lose my credibility. So I got a phone call from a blocked number when I was home in California. My sister recorded this, and this is kind of what happened. Don't post anything about who?
Camille.
Who's Camille?
Maroon.
Oh, Camille Maroon. Or what?
Sick.
Or what?
Or I'll kill you.
So there's more.
So that's absolutely insane. And there are like a litany of questions that I wish I could ask Hannah personally, because this all just screams like Harry was trying to cover Camille's ass. And I will be more than willing to bet that Harry was funneling information of what Hannah was saying to Camille to try to cover up this whole situation. He didn't want, like, what's the motivation for Harry not to be engaging with Camille? And it probably has to do with finances. Harry is heavily motivated by money. He's motivated by, like, sex and alcohol. The guy is a lowlife. He is an absolute scumbag. If you pay attention to anything that Harry does, he is just grifting entirely on his platforms to make money.
But there's just some evidence on some of this stuff.
And so she brought this up to Harry, expecting him to do something about it because, well, you know, he's always preaching about morality and doing the right thing. But what did Harry do? Absolutely nothing. He pretended as if he cared, told her that he'd get on it, and then brushed it off and carried on as if nothing happened. So not only is he a manipulative grifter, but he's also a manipulator of women, and now being accused of running cover for a predator. Disgusting.
It's absolutely
and little
disgusting.
Harry here actually responded to the accusations in a state of what seems to be total panic, melting down in text messages. Hannah actually leaked the DMs, and I'll read it to you. He writes, "You're making insane accusations right now. Like, what you're saying is insane. You've created this conspiracy in your head, and you won't even discuss it. This is truly insane. Like, Hannah, you don't know anything about Camille and this entire situation, nor do you know what Chris and I dealt with when it..."
So right here completely debunks what Harry was saying. Right here. Because Harry is saying to Hannah, you don't know anything about this situation. This is after the fact that, you know, she leaked this information to everybody. And he's being, like, accusatory towards her as if she's an issue. But remember what he said right here. He said, it's important for his victims to feel empowered, to come forward and put an end to Camille's actions once and for all. These text messages completely contradict what Camille was saying, or what Harry was saying. He's completely digging himself a grave. And honestly, I am so happy that his comeuppance is finally happening, because he deserves to, like, honestly, I'm going to just say it. He needs to rot in hell, because he's evil. He's evil for doing this, for covering up the actions of a child predator who is Camille. It's unacceptable. It is absolutely unacceptable. And he's like trying to save face at this point, thinking it's going to work, when in reality, if you really wanted to save this trouble from even happening to begin with, why didn't you bring it up before these accusations surfaced? Why didn't you say something before? This doesn't make any sense. And Harry, you are absolutely digging yourself a grave, man. And honestly, I don't feel bad for you, because your motivations in life are completely disgusting.
It came to Camille. The idea that I would try to protect someone who did something wrong is truly ridiculous, and the idea I would try to protect him with how he treated Chris and I is also ridiculous. She then responds, actually, by definition, you did provide me with advice against doing so, therefore you advised me not to take action.
Yeah, so Harry, if you listen to what Hannah had to say earlier in the video, she was saying that Harry was trying to downplay this whole situation, that she shouldn't get involved, and she shouldn't get the police involved whatsoever. And now he's trying to gaslight her into thinking I didn't advise against.
He responds, no, I did not.
Against that.
She responds, and when I said, what if I get parents' advice, you still advised against it. Nope, that's not true. I advised against that for Twitter, not for a police report. See, you just totally misinterpreted what I said. This is crazy.
See, he's trying to manipulate her. He's trying to manipulate her, and it's not working. He's so used to people believing him, like, who are absolutely brain dead. But Hannah's not brain dead. She's not stupid. I don't think a good portion of people are stupid when it comes to this. She brought the receipts, and now he's going to pay. He needs to pay. And honestly, I hope to God that this is just me being as polite as possible. I hope to God this was the only thing that Harry knew that he didn't do anything about, because if it isn't, he's in deeper shit than just this person who was sexually being what was not assaulted, but harassed or coerced online or through text messaging. It's wrong. It is so wrong. And it's gotten me so lit up. That's why I had to make this live stream and just talk to you guys about it. Like, tell me what you think about this whole situation. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just type in the Harry Sisson scandal, and I'm sure it's going to pop up everywhere on X.
He then responds, stop with the buzzwords, Harry. This whole vocabulary of insane and conspiracy theory is very manipulative.
I met Harry.
So that's what he does. That's exactly what he does. He just tries to premise his whole argument not on any facts or any evidence. It's just grandstanding. It's this holier than thou kind of attitude. Like, how dare you try to say I'm this person? How dare you accuse me of something that's wrong? But it's plainly obvious that he's lying. He is lying. I hope more people go onto this post and just call him out. He deserves to be called out. I posted her video on his post. It currently has like 900 views. And it's growing. Let me see what else other people are saying about him. Jason, this was a good tweet that I actually followed him as a result, but he says, "Are you real?" Oh, let me tell you guys what I said as as a response to Harry. I said, "You are a liar. You had no intention to follow through with whatever legal advice you were given, if you even sought it. Show us the receipts if that's the case, Harry. If you have things to back you up, why are you not showing us the receipts? What are you hiding? You were covering up for your disgusting friend while you condoned it. You are a manipulative and narcissistic asshole who's not to be trusted and most certainly shouldn't be given any impunity. Go to hell, Harry Sisson." And I also gave Liberal Hive Mind credit for the video. But seriously, Harry Sisson is just disgusting. He is a despicable human being. He is probably one of the few people that I just can't stand on X. And it's not because I hate him. I hate what he represents. I hate what he's doing. And it's just... it's sinister. Everything he's doing is just for clout, money, fame, and like to satisfy his own gratification. He is not to be trusted. And this guy like reposted, he said, "Damn, the girl in this video came with receipts against Harry Sisson." So it's spreading like a plague. I can't. It's just like getting me so riled up. I'm trying to calm down too. It's like it's almost 1 a.m. and I'm like on X just skimming this post. So let me see what else people are saying. 100, almost 200 people bookmarked this post because they realize that Harry's in deep shit. I'm actually going to just full screen it because what I'm doing behind it is not even the topic of discussion. Yeah, and then Jason posted, "Are you really going to play the blame game and act like you didn't know what was going on? Why speak up after you were exposed? There's not an ounce of honor in your body." And I responded, "Zero integrity. This is game over for him." Exactly. Why would you speak out after the fact? And the obvious answer is, Harry, you were caught. You're caught red-handed. And I'm sorry, brother. There's no coming back from this. You dug your grave. And Sarah actually thanked Harry for responding. And she said, "Thank you. We can disagree on many things, but I hope we can align in taking down anyone who will harm children." I agree with that sentiment, but I don't agree with her tone. Because she's acting like Harry has no involvement with this. Like she's assuming he has no involvement in this, and it's damningly clear that he was covering this up. I even said to her, he doesn't care about children, Sarah. If he did, he would have addressed this to authorities before this whole scandal surfaced. Harry Sisson is to not be trusted. We got AKA saying, "Harry, did your lawyer write this for you? I don't buy what you're saying for a second, you little creep." Ay. But here's an important post. This is back from August. So Harry said back in August, "Please just research and read. The FBI isn't corrupt. The DOJ isn't fraudulent. FEMA isn't bad. The EPA isn't bad. Seriously, just look up fact checks." And then Anthony Galley, I'm going to actually follow him. He says, "But when the FBI swept the case that you brought under the rug and you saw there would be no justice for the victims, why didn't you speak out then against Camille and the FBI? But instead, you've only ever seemed to defend the FBI." Damn. That hits. That hits pretty hard for... That's a good question, Harry. That's a really good question. The FBI swept, like, he contacted someone in the FBI. He probably talked to someone in the White House while he was visiting and was like, hey, you want to do me a favor about this whole Camille situation? Can you just get the FBI not to look into this? I bet that's exactly how the conversation went. And now that it's backfiring, it's literally causing this ripple throughout all social media. This lady says, your friends want nothing to do with you because you're a slimy POS and a liar. I trust nothing you say. Yeah, even his friends that have been, like, you know, who hung out with him in the past, they're like, oh, we're not friends. I don't hang out with Harry Sisson. People are backing away from Harry Sisson because they know that Harry Sisson is into some weird shit. And what I'm curious about, let's go back to the video. Hannah,
Summer of 2020.
actually
House
said
there,
something
so
like
we did
this.
hook up a couple times. So maybe the beginning of 2023, I would have considered him aggressively flirty. These are times in which Harry was getting obliterated drunk. He started to gain a lot more attention, a lot more of a following. And he created a Discord in which it was a very exclusive Discord. Very strange, creepy people were allowed.
So I want to personally know or figure out. That's a very distasteful.
Discord. I was
So I just wanted to make sure it was a decent freeze frame. But anyway, I want to figure out what that Discord channel is, or Discord server is. If we can figure out what that Discord server is, or find someone who's in it, there's probably a ton of incriminating stuff that we can figure out. And I actually messaged Hannah on TikTok and I asked her, hey, do you still have access to that Discord? Because maybe they don't use that Discord anymore and they forgot about it. But if they didn't, screenshot the shit out of everything. Or at least find out who was in it. Find out, like, the users who are in it and see if we can find someone who can leak the information for us. How could you be coup of a company getting its money from fraud and not be aware of the fraud? Or were you okay with the fraud? That's exactly it. That's exactly it. That's such a good point. Ben Dempsey. Harry was COO of this company by Camille. Harry is involved with some criminal activity. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. And I'm just saying this from an observation standpoint, but this needs to be brought up to the FBI, or it needs to be brought up to, like, at least state law enforcement, because FBI, because it's involving child predators and stuff, and potentially fraud, like currency, like fraud from a business standpoint. So yeah, Harry decided to play this game, and it's not going to work out for him. So this guy, Matthew Nelson, says, first off, I hope this Camille guy is thoroughly investigated and charged with any crimes he may have committed. Honestly, I need to tag. I need to tag Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi and Kash Patel need to be tagged immediately for this. Second, let's not forget that Harry is still a massive piece of shit who once lied about a bomb threat and preyed on vulnerable young women. I don't think we should take his word on any of this until credible sources can verify his claims. Exactly. So, I never knew about that. Harry Sisson bomb threat. What's that all about? Harry Sisson convinced 11 women that he had no roster and respected them for more than their bodies, while persuading them to send explicit photos of themselves through Snapchat, including one from a domestic abuse survivor. What the fuck? What is wrong with Harry Sisson? This kind of behavior is just... It's perfectly aligned with a narcissist. He's a narcissistic manipulator. When the women discovered each other one by one, he called them all insane and attempted to coerce one of them into telling the public that the photos were fake. Jesus. I think that's Hannah right there. I don't know. I can't tell. A request to the reader. Set political differences to the side. I believe both sides of the aisle can agree that this is unacceptable behavior from a man-child with collectively over 2 million followers. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. It's not about politics. This isn't about politics or being vindictive. This is about calling someone out for doing something completely, unacceptably wrong. Wow. Yeah, it's getting really bad. In the same fashion that Harry Sisson handled a bomb threat to his university, he and his buddies are trying to handle me too. This was back in 2023. They are attempting to destroy me with an old document that they don't understand from over 10 years ago. The trolls have inundated my feed. This is an attempt to distract you from the undeniable truth regarding the inconsistencies in Harry's story. Or perhaps it's to pull attention from NYU. If anything Harry said is true, it would mean that his university mishandled a bomb threat and placed hundreds of lives at risk. I'm exposing that, and I will continue to do so. And they don't like it. These are powerful people, and this is what someone can expect when they go after the DNC and any of their operatives. If Harry Sisson thought I was being too aggressive in my work of exposing him before, he and his buddies just woke a sleeping giant. I'm going to destroy Harry. So what is that all about?
When I was ready. When I was ready to talk about the abuse and the traumatic events that I went through.
And see what I'm talking about? Like, this isn't... Harry's history of being this goody two-shoes guy, like, or not even that. Harry's claim that he has no involvement. You know, okay, you're innocent until you're proven guilty, but your behavior is completely inconsistent with what you're saying. His behavior has always been accusatory. It's been defaming. It's been abusive. It's been malicious. He has all these traits of a dishonest person. After you just read, like, just listen to him and check to see if there's anything that backs him up, he has nothing. He is standing on nothing solid. I don't think there's one time I've listened to Harry Sisson and I thought, wow, this guy is a credible person. This guy was right. He was right this time. There have been zero instances where I agreed with Harry Sisson. And that's how disgusting and deplorable of a human being he is. 1 second while I handle these spam bots. guess my bot isn't listening right now. Oh, well, let me see what Sarah has to say here. This is back from 2023.
Traumatic and horrifying thing.
So if you want to know who he's talking about me. And I highly suggest that you go follow him because he is fantastic and everything he said is very true. And this is definitely not something that I was ready to talk about. It was something that I was eventually going to talk about when I was ready. When I was ready to talk about the abuse and the traumatic events that I went through over 10 years ago, by the way. I don't know if that was brought up. This happened in 2013. 2012 is when the incident occurred, but the court records are from 2013. And I did pay to have those records sealed. So it's interesting that they're now coming out. I poked a bear. I poked a big one. My name is Sarah Fields. I'm an investigative journalist. I have fought so hard in the state of Texas to protect kids. And over the last 4 years,
she still does. She still is.
Built a career as an investigative
This is from
journalist,
2 years
exposing
ago.
Horrific people who do horrific things to kids. And it's been very successful.
Good for her.
A lot of my work,
I don't pay attention. I haven't paid attention to Sarah that much.
I have made a lot of enemies,
she
lot
has
of adversaries.
She has been becoming more of a figure on X, and if any of you are watching, be sure to follow Sarah. I think she's genuinely a wonderful person, and she also, like, she cares so much that she's trying to at least empathize with Harry Sisson. That's how much of a genuine person she is. Even though she might be naive in that instance with Harry, she is truly still a good person overall.
And it's interesting that these records did not come up until now because people have tried very hard to bury me. Very hard. They could have found these records at any point, but they couldn't because they were sealed. And now all of a sudden they're not sealed, and I will be talking to an attorney tomorrow about this.
Jeez. So again, this is from 2 years ago whenever there was like a bomb threat kind of situation at NYU.
Abusive marriage. I can still remember being held against a wall and being told that if I tried to leave, that he was going to take my kids and he was going to do anything he could to make sure that it happened. He was a cop. He was a dirty cop. And I knew he could do it. I knew if he tried really hard, he could do it. My divorce was long. It was horrific. I battled for my kids. And this particular incident occurred where this was his gotcha moment. This was like, I got you now I can, it was something that he orchestrated. And he used it against me in court. He was very abusive towards me, but he was also abusive towards my kids.
So Harry tried using this against her? What the fuck is wrong with him?
We're provided to that judge. Here.
All right, I'm going to skip to, like...
So I did it. Because I wanted my kids back. Fully gone after multiple minors, and there was an investigation ongoing on him. Imagine his abuse went that far. I became a fighter for Texas. Who responds to now and when to share my story.
Okay, so she's just basically telling her side as to, like, this counter, this basically Harry was trying to slander Sarah Fields. She came out and said, hey, this is why those documents exist, and they were sealed to begin with because she wanted privacy. and he tried using the situation with her kids and her abusive husband or whomever as leverage. I'm telling you, Harry Sisson is a completely disgusting human being. Why do people listen to this guy? What does he say that people enjoy hearing? I don't get it. And you want to see something ironic? Let me show you guys something absolutely ironic when it comes to Harry Sisson. This is the hugest oof I've ever seen. I'm actually going to bookmark this, and I'm going to screenshot it because it's hilarious to me. America failed women tonight. Trump bullied, assaulted, and stripped reproductive rights away from women all across the country, and instead of standing against it, many voted for it. We have failed our daughters' mothers. Dude, you failed women. You didn't speak out against a child predator. And you're also being harassing towards, like, domestic abusers. You, Harry Sisson, are a complete scumbag. I hope you watch this video, because that's what you are. You're a liar, a manipulator, an absolute asshole. It's undeniable at this point. This is from a few days ago. Feeling good today. Let's continue to fight for democracy and stay focused on stopping Trump. I'm sorry, Harry. You wanted the attention, and guess what? All eyes are on you, buddy. All eyes are on you at this point. You're not getting away from this. Like, what the hell is wrong with him? Let me see what else is popping up in our news feed here. Harry Sisson leak. Liberal influencer Harry Sisson busted in massive Snapchat scandal. Reportedly convinced 11 different women to send explicit photos of themselves, including one that was a domestic abuse survivor. So I read that already. And people were like, lock him up. The same guy who lectures everyone on morals and decency behind a camera, and this is what he's doing in private. Can't make this stuff up. Dude, it's so true. He's an absolute hypocrite. He is by far... he's only 22. The guy's only 22. What kind of gets me is who taught him how to be this much of a dirtbag? Who was the biggest influence in his life to say, Harry, you need to forget all your morals and just be an absolute degenerate? Where did he learn this shit? This little POS is always running around championing women's rights and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, he's talking about raw dogging sexual assault victims. Oh, man. Jesus Christ. Fucking... I hate talking about, like, I hate, like, resorting to me wanting to do some primal things to Harry Sisson, because I truly don't like resorting to those kind of things. But if I ever had the chance, I probably would want to punch Harry Sisson in the fucking face. I'm not even kidding. Why? That gets me. I'm not even kidding. I am so pissed off because of what Harry Sisson has done to these people, to these women. He has covered up this whole situation. He is surrounded. His whole friend group are people who money launder and commit fraud, who reach out and sexually harass minors who are child predators? You're covering these people up, Harry? Again, maybe my punch in the face is more figurative. Maybe my punch in the face is hoping that our justice system does it for me. God. What the hell? This guy says, disgusting behavior from Harry Sisson, taking advantage of vulnerable women for his own gain. This is a perfect example of the hypocrisy of the liberal elite who preach about feminism and equality, but practice exploitation and abuse. I hope these women get the justice they deserve and Harry Sisson faces the consequences of his actions. So again, we're going to try to stay away from the political ranting. I'm focusing on Harry's character. Like, you guys can chat away in the comments your politics if you want, but I seriously cannot stand this man. Shocked to see people who voted for a convicted... What? Wow, this guy has an L take. That is such a L take. He's not a convicted rapist. He never raped... okay, we're not going to talk about it. That's just ridiculous. Someone... I'm going to bookmark this. Just hold on. General L takes. Jesus. Let's try to avoid all the slander and name calling memes. There's nothing illegal here unless someone is underage. Getting women to send nudes is not illegal. I hate Harry, he's a twat waffle, but this is ridiculous. There's nothing in the post stating it was illegal. I'm more focused on this. I'm more focused on what Hannah has to say. Because what Harry does in his personal time, I do agree that, I mean, you could be a dirtbag, all right? You could be sleazy, you could be promiscuous, you can be raunchy, I don't give a shit. But the moment you start covering up child predators and shit, that's where I draw the line. You guys have any thoughts on this? Like, wait. Harry Sisson scamming girls to send nudes, then leaking the story so people will stop calling him gay. Harry Sisson is getting exposed for grooming a minor. What the hell? Come on, send nudes. Is that the gay guy again? Oh my god. Oh, here's another video by Hannah. Maybe we should watch this one. Let me see. This is a 10-minute video.
Shall we? So before I get into these around 50 screenshots providing evidence and context for anything that I have said, I do want to reiterate something just for even more context. I met Harry in summer of 2020. We were both kind of like the original political TikTokers.
So we already like watched a decent chunk of this. I think we watched.
People were allowed in the Discord.
Yeah. So let me.
For him, Harry, and I told Harry about everything.
Yeah. So let's find out where.
Not in America, And I advise Harry that I'm doing so, and he starts advising me not to do so. Through FaceTime audio, mind you. But here's the conversation about him advising me not to do so. And if you see with all of the other girls...
Hold on.
Call through FaceTime audio, mind you. But here's the conversation about him.
All right. Let me screenshot this so that way we can see exactly what's going on. All right, what's that say? Flip. How do I flip it? Why can't Microsoft just do things simply? Let's see. Trying to just flip that so I can read exactly what it's saying. But hold on 1 minute. Where is it? Apparently it's a hassle to try to edit a photo with Windows on the fly. Flip. I just want you to flip it. Can you flip it? Okay. So he says... Okay, we read this already. She says, actually, by definition, you did provide me with advice against doing so. Therefore, you advised me not to take action. No, I did not, Harry says. And when you said, what if I get parents' advice? You still advise me against it. That's what Hannah says. And then he says, no, that's not true. I advised against, what does that say? Something for Twitter, not for a police report. See, you just totally misinterpreted what I said. This is, yeah,
him advising
that's
me
not
not
the
to
case.
do so. And if you see with all of the other girls too, he loves calling women lunatics. They're crazy. Conspiracy theory.
Yep.
His favorite.
He does that
Let's
to
continue.
everybody.
Oh, here's a random
Not just
little
women.
tidbit, not really related to what I'm talking
Anybody
about,
that
but I
disagrees with him,
figure
he
I'd
calls
share
them. He just
screenshots of Harry
dismisses them.
with my
It's
saved inappropriate
the
photos
sign
in
of a
chat. See,
sociopath.
I'm really sitting here admitting that I did send inappropriate because it was like a fun little fling. For me, this is like less about the romantic part of anything. I don't really mind that. I don't like that they're saved, but like the whole inappropriate photos thing, not really my main issue. The context of it is though. So hold on. So here's me saying point blank to Harry, what's a conspiracy theory? The grooming part or me quite literally finding your relationship with Camille and all of this is suspicious?
Yeah.
That's a speculation.
That's the
not a
biggest
theory.
thing.
Anyway, and this is after Harry called me about 20 times and me not answering, and him saying, this is truly insane, like, Hannah, you don't know anything about Camille in this entire situation, nor do you know what Chris and I dealt with when it came to Camille. Essentially, like, putting his issues with Camille above the fact that he's literally grooming a minor. Anyway. Eventually,
Jesus
however, I was
Christ.
manipulated into thinking that he was no longer working for Camille. Whoops. So then October 7th happens. I don't know if I showed this already, but this is also important in the context of everything. I'm sorry this is so confusing. Everything is everywhere. Okay. So then Harry calls me saying that he's making some federal complaint against Camille. Okay, and I'm like, period, right?
If there's a case against
so
Harry,
here's
this is it. I'm telling you.
that conversation, essentially, he tells me that 2 other people are in on it. And then I said, okay, we had a little tiff pass behind us. We're homies now. He then asked me for nudes, unsent the message. And that's what I was talking about when I said, tried to get me to send him nudes because he pretended that he cared about the predation. So I said, I saw that, you freak. Are you drunk or something? Okay. But I didn't realize that until way later on because then October 7th happened and we were constantly arguing about that. So here is me trying to call Harry because I was trying to talk to him about, Middle East stuff. He questions. He says he's tired. I say whatever. He goes, you know what it's a perfect time for, though? Referring to nudes. I said, "You're funny." Then he unsent a message, and I said, "I saw that, you freak." Anyways, then
Damn.
I had a phone call with
she is
minor. He called me
like
at
hammering
10 p.m.
down.
I was like, "What the fuck?" I answer, and he's asking these really, really strange questions, and I'm like, "What the hell?" Come to find out, Harry and Camille were working together to try to get me to say something. So if I say anything in the future, I'd lose my credibility. Okay. And here, I know it's small, I was trying to preserve ink, and I know it's probably gonna be backwards too, whatever. I'll post these more straight up next time. That is the fake cease and desist I received soon after.
Oh shit. Let me read that. I don't know if I can. Hold on. That's huge. Let me see if I can find her talking about that somewhere. Americana Hannah on TikTok. Fake cease and desist. I don't know if she actually posted it. Yeah, I don't know if she actually posted it, but I would love to see what this says. Seriously. I can't read it at all. It's too tiny.
Ink. And I know it's probably going to be backwards too, whatever. I'll post these more straight up next time. That is the fake cease and desist I received soon after for $500,000. Accusing me of racism.
I found it. Hold on. Let me see if I could pull it up. Hold on, it's going to take a little bit of calibration to get it. There we go. And then TikTok. Okay. So let me pull this up here. All right, this video right here. I'm actually going to download it.
Okay.
So she did make... She just responded to him. She responded to Harry's tweet. Or his post, whatever you want to call it. Hold on, let me make sure that you guys can hear this. Hold on.
Bullshit. I want to put emphasis on the fact that he says once I became aware of this. I also want to emphasize the March 2023 thing. Bullshit. Let me explain. This text conversation that I had with Harry was in September of 2023, wherein I clock him for still allowing Camille, knowing he's a predator.
This is breaking news.
Okay, keep that in mind. It's also bullshit for other reasons. One of them being that I have had contact recently with very credible sources that I will not name, that have told me that Harry has been working with Camille up until as of at least recently. Okay, up until at least recently. I know recently is a very subjective term. I know that he was working with him in 2024 is what I can say. Obviously, allegedly. I notified Harry of what Camille was doing almost immediately, and nothing happened. He continued working for him under the guise of, oh, he owes me money, and I think he's still trying to do that. Regardless, it's unethical, but, you know, I also want to make it very clear that I did contact Harry tonight after I saw his ex statement. Because if he is just trying to do the right thing and he innocently fucked up the timeline, I was giving him the opportunity to retract and or edit that statement, and I got no reply.
Right.
So
he is, like I said, he's showing all the signs of criminal behavior.
Somebody is going to look at the evidence that I've come out with and clock it themselves, because it doesn't line up.
It doesn't line up.
So yeah, okay, bullshit. I want to put emphasis on the fact that he says once I became aware of this. I also want to emphasize the March 2023 thing. Bullshit. Let me explain. Okay,
so I downloaded that video, and I'm going to post that on that feed right now, because that is absolutely insane. Update. At Americana Hannah TikTok responds to Harry's X post. All right. Put that right there. Let that upload. Dude, that is as breaking news as it's going to be when it comes to this. Let me see what else she posted recently. Because I want to find the cease and desist thing.
Hi. Okay, so I'm going to be answering this question and the other massive amount of questions that I can remember.
I don't know what the hell is
and I'll do
going
it as
on
quick as
here.
I
Was
can,
this
because I know
taken to the
everybody's pissed about
authorities?
the whole
Someone was
9-minute
grooming a
thing.
child?
God,
Where is
anyway.
the police report?
Okay, so the first thing I did when I learned about what was happening with this minor and Camille is I contacted the minor's mother, and I spoke with her for about an hour, and she informed me that she would be taking the reins on this one and that I can step back, okay? And I'm not going to interfere with the mother's decision, obviously. However, after I got the threatening phone call, this was in December, I did call the police, and they naturally asked for the context. I gave them the context, and they said, well, even if you wanted to come forward about this minor and Camille, you can't do anything. Nothing's going to happen because the minor is in Australia, okay? Now I need to confront some misinformation. I never said that Harry committed a crime. Never. I was simply expressing my perception of extremely unethical behavior on his part, okay? I have no idea if he's committed a crime. If you think he has, that's your own interpretation. Just don't allude to me saying that he did, because I never said that. It's also come to my attention that people from different places have different interpretations of what hookup means. Where I'm from, it just means making out.
Right.
So
I understand that.
that.
That's the old school
I've
way.
also been
That's the
getting a lot of
old
questions
school
like, why are you just speaking about this now? Interesting, ironic, whatever.
terminology
Fame farming.
when it comes to hooking up.
Know.
I
But,
say
yeah,
like,
no, I've been speaking
hey, let's
about this
hook
for
up,
over a year.
like with my friends and stuff, or with like a girlfriend, and it's not like we're doing anything. It's just we're literally just hanging. We're not literally, but we're meeting up. Nothing crazy.
It just so happens that it started getting traction recently, you know, naturally, because a lot of other women came forward with unfortunate experiences with this person. There's also like a common theme that I'm noticing.
So technically,
people
there are
commenting
two
where it's
scandals
very explicitly obvious that they have not
surrounding
watched any
Harry
of those
Sisson
videos
right now.
in full, including my own, and then making
The way
assumptions
he
off the
treats
basis of
women,
maybe, you know,
and
1/4 of the videos that
this
they've
child
watched.
predator
Please stop
cover-up.
doing that. Some of the stories are similar, but none of them are identical.
Is there a third
so
strike?
Maybe don't comment until you
Only
actually
time
hear
will
the full
tell.
Story. Like, you might also be wondering why I'm at a different angle today. That is because people have seemed to make it a bigger deal than the story I told. To point out the fact that there is a sign in the background on my wall in Arabic. So that's because I am a member of ISIS, actually. No, that is because, first of all, it says Yves Saint Laurent in Arabic, 1. 2, I'm Moroccan, 3, they speak Arabic in Morocco, and it's a pretty popular sign.
You know, I will say that even though, like, I'm a conservative, this girl's a liberal, she's actually very charismatic, and she seems very intelligent, so I think this is the exception. She is one of the few liberals that I actually will follow. I actually follow a lot of liberals. I love a lot of liberal friends of mine. I hate this philosophy that liberals and conservatives can't get along. At the end of the day, those labels mean nothing. Like, let's just appreciate each other for what we do for each other. You know, for what we do for our communities, what we can do for our friendships. It's not always about politics, you know? Like, okay, let's have a debate about politics sometimes, but on the grounds that we're not going to destroy our friendship, you know? That's not going to be severed away. Let's work on being unified on things that we can actually work on improving at least. And then if we can't talk about certain subjects, then let's just move on. It's not that hard. It's not that hard of a concept. I know so many people have that problem.
It's a pretty cool sign.
And it's not needed.
Yeah, I just want to clear that one up. So weird. And then I obviously remembered that I'm in a conservative sphere now because everybody hates Harry on that end of the spectrum as well.
It's true.
Part, but kind of funky behavior. Anyway, I didn't even know that this was blowing up on X until last night. It's a lot. Please calm down. Somebody commented like, this bitch hasn't said anything since this came out. Give me 24 hours.
Yeah,
free.
seriously.
What the hell? On that note, let me know if
She
I
has a
missed
life.
anything. I probably did. And I do want to emphasize again, please watch every single girl's story.
I would love to bring her
on
onto like a one-on-one interview and
because
just
I've seen the
kind
most
of like
outrageous
understand where she's coming from.
interpretations of the
Honestly,
videos
like
that are just
I never
completely
looked
off
into
the mark.
Hannah,
Completely
and
off the mark. Like
if
some-
it kind of is surprising to me that this woman actually hung out with Harry Sisson. It's mind-blowing to me how someone this intelligent hung out with a scumbag as low as Harry Sisson. That blows me away.
Some people think I'm Camille. Like, okay.
No.
Thank you for the support, though, from the people who have been supportive.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Yes. 100%.
Okay, so
Right, this is just these are just like videos from the past. So that literally just came out. Provide evidence. Provide evidence. Is this the 9
Harry
minute?
and Camille were working together to try to get me to say something. Okay, sorry, look a mess. I just got back from Pilates, but I wanted to provide evidence on that. Meaning evidence that Harry and Camille were
Okay,
working
this is
together
probably the
to
cease
try
and
to get
desist shit.
the minor to get me to admit something that would, in the long run, kill my credibility. Okay, so this was sent to me by the minor himself. The crossed out person is Harry, but the minor did not have his number saved at the time. So essentially, Harry says to the minor, "Say you will once the proof is sent." I can only guess he's alluding to me saying you have to prove that Harry and Camille aren't putting you up to this, okay? And then he tells them what to say to me, saying like, say you're curious, but you don't want to just rat. And then eventually I think they noticed that I was starting to catch on to the whole thing. And then he says, blank join back. Camille says, come back now. What the F is going on? They're kind of freaking out. Harry says, dude, come back. I'm just not sure if I showed this in the original. This is just a conversation between Harry and I, me confronting.
Hold on a minute.
I'm just what the F is going on.
Comment. I'm gonna comment 2 things on her post, on her new post, because I want her to see this.
Okay, bullshit.
I just reposted this on his X thread. Hannah, I support, I appreciate all of the, what would you call this? I appreciate all the work that you are, or all the evidence you are providing to bring this to light. You're right. What he is saying, it's bullshit. Let me just do that. I didn't know on TikTok you couldn't like type out like more than 150 words. There we go. I squeezed in one more I just reposted this on the X thread. Hannah, I appreciate all the evidence you are providing to bring this to light. You're right, it's bullshit. And I'm also going to say, one, do you have access to that Discord? Or anyone you know have access to that Discord? And two, what was the second thing I wanted to say? What was the second thing I wanted to ask her? There was one thing I needed to tell her. Do you have that fake cease and desist letter from your original post? Okay, so I did my duty there. Yeah, this is like that whole 10-minute thing. Whew, man. All right, so that's the whole story right there from Hannah's perspective. I would highly recommend you guys keeping an eye on that. I'll go back on X and just see what's going on. That post is gaining so much traction right now. It's not even funny. Whoo-wee. It's getting a little messy. Getting very, very messy. Yeah, people are reposting the shit out of that. I'm just going to look up Harry Sisson mentions, honestly. Let's see what Grok has to say. Does Grok have a voice input yet? Grok, what do you know about the Harry Sisson scandals that are surfacing at this present moment? As of March 22nd, 2025, Harry Sisson, a prominent Democratic TikTok influencer known for his, holy shit, this is a book, for his political advocacy, is facing allegations related to a Snapchat scandal. Based on available information, multiple women have accused Sisson of manipulating them into sending explicit photos via Snapchat. Reports suggest that he allegedly convinced at least 11 women, including one identified as a domestic abuse survivor, to share such content by gaining their trust and presenting himself as respectful and exclusive in his interactions with them. Yeah, so he's just a player. He's just like there to he does this to people. He does this to, like, not, it's consistent with his lifestyle. Harry toys with people's emotions. He is not for the people. He is manipulating to gain selfish desires. That's the bottom line of it all. And by the way, I appreciate all you guys who are watching. I know there are people who are watching right now, and I truly, absolutely want to throw that out there and say thank you so much for tuning in. And honestly, if you're an advocate for children and their safety, their welfare, against people who are out to abuse, harass, and exploit them, then do me a favor and look into this and honestly demand justice, because Harry Sisson, Camille, his whole posse demand to be demand to be shown what justice is like, because this is absolutely unacceptable what is happening. Allegations came to public attention around mid-March when significant traction gained through posts on X and coverage by various online outlets. For instance, women like Carly Hoche on TikTok have shared their experiences, claiming Sisson led them on for months, making them feel special before later retracting any intent for commitment. So this is completely different than what I was talking about just a few minutes ago. This is like, again, this is like the lesser of the scandals. I don't really give a shit as much about what Harry does, like for his sexual desires. I don't care, but it's a problem. It's clearly a problem. People hate it, but I have a stronger sense of, like, I have a stronger desire to see him be at least brought to court. Like, I feel like there needs to be a process here where he has to like legitimately tell us what the hell he was thinking. And I can almost guarantee you it's going to be something along the lines of, oh, well, I was completely unaware. I did everything I had to do. I collected the evidence, and I made sure I talked to the FBI. FBI needs to do a complete internal examination of what that process looked like. Like whoever the prosecutor is who is assigned to this case, because this is going to be a case. I can guarantee you this is going to be a case. They need to look into that initial FBI report. They need to look into all the text messages that Hannah just displayed. Obviously, Hannah's going to be put on a bench, and I think she's ready for it. Like, honestly, Team Hannah. Like, I didn't think I would make such a comment like that. This is another thing. Additional accusations have surfaced, including claims that Sisson worked with an individual named Camille, who has been accused of felony charges and inappropriate behavior towards a minor. Posts on X have suggested further allegations of money laundering and ties to serious crimes, though these remain less substantiated and more speculative at this stage. So that might be the third strike. The sexual harassment charges, the complicit behavior that Harry has with Camille is most likely going to lead to a domino effect. This is the end of Harry Sisson, in my opinion. This is the end of his career. And, you know, you could say that, like, anybody can say that with such on a normal day, but this is not a normal day. This is literally him being, like, this is literally stacks of evidence being brought forth to the public. Regardless of the political beliefs, we need to protect our children at all costs. It is unacceptable that he was willing, from the text messages, to cover up this whole situation. What was the reason why he wanted to cover it up so much? And the answer is, there's something bigger. There's something bigger behind the sexual harassment charges than just that. There's something Harry does not want to be investigated. And there is a huge reason why he doesn't want that. You just put two and two together, and I guarantee you we're going to find some breadcrumbs somewhere. Sisson has not issued a formal public response to these allegations as of now, but he did. He did. With that, so Grok hasn't. I'm actually going to share Grok. This post, so that way it updates here. But anyway, Sisson has not issued a formal public response to these allegations as of now, though some reports indicate he dismissed the accusers as insane during interactions, and that lines up perfectly. The scandal has sparked widespread discussion online, with reactions ranging from outrage over perceived hypocrisy, of course, given his public advocacy for women's rights. I mean, oh my god. I think we're making a meme tonight. To skepticism about the motives behind the accusations, given his political prominence. The situation is still developing, and much of the information comes from social media and online commentary, which should be approached with caution as it may not be fully verified. The allegations, if true, contrast sharply with Sisson's public persona as a progressive Gen Z activist and Biden supporter, making this a significant controversy surrounding his influence and credibility. You know, I know that, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I want to say it so much. Yeah, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to tease you guys with what I was going to say. But all it just has something to do with that last paragraph. So, Grok, here is an update. This is Harry's response to the whole situation. Figured you can add this to your database. Help our AI be better. Post analysis currently uses a smaller model. Sisson's statement aligns with recent allegations on X about his association with Camille, accused of felonies including burglary, criminal damage to religious property, and identity theft against Sarah Fields, as detailed in related posts and web reports from March 2025. The mention of notifying federal authorities and cooperating with law enforcement ties into broader scrutiny of Sisson's ties to Camille, whose criminal activities, including harming minors, were highlighted in X posts and news articles around the same time. Sisson's claim of not speaking publicly until now at law enforcement's request reflects the ongoing Snapchat scandal, where he faces accusations of manipulating women, as reported by multiple X users in outlets like Hindustan Times and Joe Baj Stories in mid-March 2025. Let me see what the Hindu Times says. What did Harry Sisson do? All about the influencer Snapchat scandal. Harry Sisson, a top Democratic influencer, allegedly lured several women on Snapchat to share explicit photos. Okay, so we know, we already understand this. All right. Okay, Sarah Fields, who goes by Sarah is Censored and is a Republican state delegate, according to her X bio, also appeared to have exposed Sisson on the Elon Musk-led micro-blogging platform. She further claimed when the women discovered each other one by one, he called them all insane and attempted to coerce one of them into telling the public that the photos were fake. This needs to be saved. This article. She plugged several receipts, including public TikTok videos of women claiming to be victims of Harry Sisson's alleged inappropriate Snapchat streak. Fields slammed the liberal influencer, pointing out that videos of women speaking out about the situation were not gaining much traction on social media, while Sisson continued to collect millions of views for his videos, claiming that he is a supporter of women and a champion for women's rights. Yeah. He's an absolute hypocrite. Sisson, who is in his early 20s, currently has over 1.8 million followers on TikTok, and all I'll say is, like, nobody gives a shit about your followers. Nobody gives a shit about your follower count. It's not about follower count. It's about the content of your character and what you do online. I don't give a shit about your follower count. Okay, you're popular, but popularity doesn't win you anything. It really doesn't. Being a decent human being, yeah, that does. That wins you things. Netizens couldn't help but all call out the hypocrisy in light of allegations against Harry surfacing online. The same guy who lectures everyone on morals and decency behind a camera, and this is what he's doing in private. Can't make this stuff up. A user commented. We read that. Harry Sisson's alleged victims speak out. As per Carly Hosch on TikTok, one of Harry's alleged victims, the top Democratic influencer wooed her from the beginning. He reportedly had her convinced that he respected her and had no plans of objectifying her. Sarah Fields explained that even though Carly is admittedly embarrassed, she created a private chat to chat with Harry that was meant for his eyes only. Then she's then believed to have shared explicit photos of herself with him via this channel. Oh my god. He is such a fucking scumbag. He loved it. He loved that I was not entertaining anyone else the way I was entertaining him, Carly alleges in the video. Harry, on the other hand, reportedly declared herself wifey material and that he was sold on her wife applications. Wow. Yeah. What an asshole. According to Carly's revelation, Sisson continued to interact the same way with her for 6 months until he told her that he wasn't looking for a commitment. When she confronted him about leading her on, he admitted to it, saying he should have made his intentions clear. Dude, your intentions were malicious. They were never meant to be clear. Harry, you are the darkest scum in a sewer. You are the grimiest person on the face of X or even the planet at this point. Carly accused Harry of posting a thirst trap. In other words, a photo of himself and his new girlfriend on TikTok shortly after their argument. She also blamed Sisson for taking advantage of her vulnerability, as she had been battling depression at the time in the aftermath of a traumatic car accident. Oh my god. When she finally went live with her side of the story, Carly found out that during the 9 months of interaction with Sisson, the influencer was similarly leading other women simultaneously. He is believed to have manipulated all alleged victims in the same way, finally convincing them to send him explicit messages via Snapchat. And I can almost guarantee you he circulated that. He probably has a second phone. He just took pictures of them and he circulated with it with all his buddies, these poor women. He's a disgusting human being. Fields supported her expose of Sisson with screenshots of snaps and text chains exchanged between him and Carly. One of these messages from Harry to her reads, "I never lied to you. We were never exclusive, and I made that abundantly clear. I didn't want that, and you said that was fine. I haven't done anything that wasn't allowed within the parameters we set. What and why are you screenshotting?" The receipts in question also shed light to Harry telling Carly, "I'd fuck you raw after the wine testing," via Snapchat. Fuck. I'm fighting for accountability, not for only myself, but on behalf of everyone who believed this guy was someone he's not. I'm so happy people are coming to this realization. He's not a good human being. And it's crazy that I say that because I usually don't cast judgment like that to people. But Harry Sisson is genuinely not a good human being. It's just I can say I would rather you guys look at the evidence yourself and make that determination yourself rather than just immediately believing what I have to say. But just from all the things that have gotten us to this point, Harry Sisson, to me, is one of the most vile human beings that I've ever come to understand. And I don't hate people. Like, I really try not to make it my persona to seek retribution or revenge or anything like that. But when you do these disgusting things to people, it really makes me want to do terrible things. Terrible things in the name of good, you know? But I have to calm down. I get super emotional about this stuff, and it's for a good reason. It's because I want our women and I want our children to be protected. And he has the audacity to say he is all for women's rights. Meanwhile, he does this, and he clearly doesn't care about women's rights. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care about the logic that is attached to the feelings. The only thing Harry cares about is what's happening in Harry's mind. He is incapable of looking outward. Or no, he's capable of looking outward, but he's incapable of looking inward and saying to himself, maybe I am actually making terrible decisions. But now, since things are coming to light, maybe he's going through that realization. I would hope to God, I seriously pray to God that Harry comes to the realization that what he has done is absolutely wrong. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Harry is so full of hubris that you will never see him admit any form of guilt. Even if he said about the sexual accusations, even if he just publicly went on record and said, I think this is wrong, I am very hesitant to believe what he says. Because he clearly is just trying to save face at this point. He's it's ridiculous. And this is another observation I know about, that I've been understanding about Harry. Harry can't shut his mouth. So he's going to keep talking. He's going to try to vindicate himself through the internet. Because he doesn't care about people's opinion, but he cares about how people think of him, you know? He doesn't care about conservatives' opinions. My opinion hardly even matters to Harry. Does it get to him? Oh, deep down it does get to him. Deep down, he cares what a lot of us are saying about him. But on the opposite token, he cares about what his followers think about him. And right now, his followers are turning their backs against him. His friends are turning their backs against him. Okay, let's read this. A second alleged victim named Sarah posted a detailed video of her experience as well, claiming to be a domestic violence survivor. She revealed messages from Harry showing how he allegedly toyed with her emotions by making her believe that he was in her corner. Sisson supposedly told her that she was the only one for him, as he ultimately cajoled her into sending private pictures of herself. Top liberal influencer branded what the hell is that sentence? Top liberal influencer branded predatory. Okay. Two other victims who came forward with claims against Harry include Diana and Hannah, Americana Hannah. The latter said that she had known Harry since they were teens, describing Sisson as manipulative and predatory. She added that he had been acting on the same pattern of his alleged toxicity for a long time. Hannah also established that when she first spoke up about her truth, no one believed her. The screenshots floating online drove attention to few other messages sent to one of the alleged victims. In one of these, Harry Sisson wrote, "You definitely have a lot to offer, no doubt. I think right now I can't do exclusivity. Not because I'm getting nudes from a bunch of girls or effing girls and stuff. I don't hook up with anyone ever. But because..." Oh, this is what she... No. This is what Harry says. "But because I just don't think I'd be able to commit 100% to something. Also, since we live in different states, exclusivity would be hard. So I'm not balancing a bunch of girls at once. My mind and energy are just in other places right now, and I don't have much more to give." He's fucking... He's trying to save face. He's trying so hard. And it's not working. It's not working. All right, let's go back. So that's essentially all for right now that that I have to say about this situation, and I hope I did my part in bringing it to light. And I honestly really like doing these live streams when it comes to news and current events. Like, obviously, if I'm going to have a political live stream, it's not going to be I'm right, you're wrong. It's more or less, let me understand where you're coming from and let me try to challenge you a little bit. Like, I understand so many people get so riled up about politics, and I can understand the emotions that can come to play with that. But whenever it comes to discussing in a sit down fashion, we have to be able to at least bridge the divide between the people who we can discuss these things with. So in the future, I'm hoping that I can have some discussions with people who may have differences in political opinions, but are willing to at least talk maturely about it. Like Harry Sisson, I wouldn't be able to get 2 damn sentences out with him mocking what I'm saying and then slandering and belittling everything I do. Oh, well, who are you? You're an absolute nobody. I have 1.8 million followers. Okay, I don't give a shit. I really don't. And honestly, as much as I would probably appreciate having 1.8 million followers myself, it's impossible for me to know those people on an individual level. I'd rather, like, honestly, to a good degree, I am appreciating my smaller audience as of right now, because I can at least take the time to understand where you guys are coming from. You see if there's anything else going on X right now, if there's any more updates to this post. Let's see. Yeah, just the same thing. Wait. You see, Harry, the problem with lying pieces of shit is even if they're telling the truth, we only know them as lying pieces of shit. You're not credible. Any aggravating headache coming your way is karma. Holy shit, you nailed it. You spend 100% of your time lying on social media, so you are definitely lying now. Plus, being a degenerate sex offender is one of the tenets of leftists. So yeah, you deserve to be in prison. What's the other girl who spoke out?
Okay, bullshit.
Hold on a minute. Did that comment go through?
Okay, bullshit.
I don't know if that comment actually, the second comment that I made. Let me pull up TikTok again. Damn, it's so low in views right now, because everybody's asleep. But once the morning hits, that's going to be big. I need to figure out, like, the other girls' TikTok information real quick. Because I want to look into them, and then after that, I'm probably going to head out. Because I need to pee. I actually really need to go to the bathroom. And I'm drinking coffee at 2 in the morning. I have video projects I have to get done, and this is what I'm doing. It's just messing around. But messing around with a good purpose. So let's go on here. Harry has a thing for brunettes, it appears. I would imagine this is where the story begins.
So it's a good thing and a strong thing for women to speak up against men who do them wrong, but as soon as they speak up against you doing them wrong, they're insane?
Right.
Got it. So it's a good thing and a...
Jesus.
It's come to my attention that the guy who I'm trying to hold accountable for treating me very poorly is now playing the victim. And I think it's really important that I clear this up. I have never once claimed that we are exclusive. Not a single time. Go back and listen to my videos. I never once said that. I did say, though, that I said, if you are talking to anybody else the same way you're talking to me, unsave my stuff. And you didn't. So you lied. You literally lied to me and said that there was nobody else. All because you just wanted to have intimate pictures of me. I see how you work.
This comment, Harry is a believe all women guy until he's the one in the spotlight. Oh my god. What a statement.
And then when I called you out for lying to me, you said that I was lying about you lying to me. You were so offended that I, said that you've lied to me. And then you said you didn't lie. How's that holding up? Also, I need to stress the fact that I have only talked about my experience with one individual. So I'm not claiming to have experience with another, even though they're friends.
See, this is the difference.
And I don't want to give that impression. So anybody who has...
This is like the difference that I have, like, in a lot of situations, especially like with the Trump scandals in the past with like the sexual allegations, it's one thing to it's one thing to listen to what these women have to say. It's another thing to also understand the facts that they bring to the table. That's such a terrible screenshot. There we go. I think we should all be looking at this as objectively as possible, but because Harry has such a history of just narcissistic tendencies, it's hard for me to take him seriously. So I'm more inclined to believe her. Of course, I'm going to be a little biased here. I'm going to be biased in the sense it lines up with his personality. Again, you're innocent till you're proven guilty. Let's let the facts speak for themselves. But I think the facts are coming to light at this point, in my opinion. And Harry's in some deep shit. That's what I'm nailing, That's what I'm putting on the board.
This is with someone else can speak on it for themselves because it's not my business and it's not my experience. So I'm not going to speak on it. But to sit here and act like we're claiming things that we're not claiming is bizarre, because you can go back and watch any videos that anybody has posted and nobody has once said, oh, we were in a relationship, or oh, we were exclusive. No, we're all saying that you told us that there was no one else when at the same time there were 11 of us. It's just really icky behavior. And you're going to sit there and say, oh, we think accountability is important. Then why did you text me and directly say that you did nothing wrong? I don't know, man. I'm just so tired of men pretending to be the victims just because they're being called out. Oh, and let's not forget that the parameters that you said you set right away took place 6 months after we started talking.
Right.
So if that's right away for you, then by all means.
Yeah, that's not
just
right
not
away.
The same definition for me.
Yeah, that's not right away.
It's come to my attention that
Harry was using, Harry was abusing, Harry is an absolute asshole. There's no changing my mind. If you're making this claim, you're going to have to come with receipts. I'm not calling you a liar or trying to silence you, but this is a big accusation. If true, he should go down. You definitely... Alright, Harry says, you definitely have a lot to offer, no doubt. I think right now, I can't do exclusivity. Okay, we read this in that article. Not because I'm getting nudes from a bunch of girls or fucking girls and stuff. I don't hook up with anyone ever, but because I just don't think I'd be able to commit 100% to something. Also, since we live in different states, exclusivity would be hard. So I'm not balancing a bunch of girls at once. My mind and energy are just in other places right now, and I don't have much more to give. Yeah, okay. Thank you for saying that, Harry. It's truly what I feel, but of course, yeah, right. It's truly what I feel. I love, this is why I love psychology. This is why I love understanding how other people think. Because how can you be that low? How could you not, like, this is the antithesis of an empath. Just an absolute sociopath. Taking advantage of these women to exploit them. He's a womanizer. And not only that, he's just like, he's an absolute grifter online. He puts on this fake persona and makes you think he's so high and mighty. In reality, he's just a dirtbag. But Carly goes on to say, I appreciate it, really. I know you're busier than probably ever before, and I respect that and am happy for you. That being said, I guess my mentality of waiting for the right time was just out of touch with reality. I wouldn't say it was out of touch with reality. I probably should have been more clear, and that's on me, truly. Whatever. It's not that there's competition. I'm not getting nudes from a bunch of girls. What did he say? From a bunch of girls or HU with a bunch of girls. Okay. LMAO. See, your opinion is the only one that mattered. Couldn't agree more beautiful. God, that ass is fat. Looks amazing. I never lied to you. We were not exclusive, and I made that abundantly clear. I didn't want that, and you said that was fine. I haven't done anything that wasn't allowed within the parameters we set. What and why are you screenshotting? Because you're in deep shit. That's why.
And admit you're in danger.
Why didn't you just let it go? Boys will be boys.
Who are you talking to right now?
And admit you're...
How mentally screwed up I am when I found out. Yeah, Carly's actually taking a mental toll. She's she put herself out there, and the sad reality is when you do this, when you out these kind of things, you're going to face like huge scrutiny from a decent amount of individuals, even though you know in your heart what is right. So honestly, I just hope for the best for these girls. Like, I just hope they get the justice they deserve. If everything they say aligns with reality. So this is the other girl that came out she doesn't have that much. She doesn't have that big of a following.
In that comment section, I saw another woman say something.
Hello, I am the girl that left the comment on Harry's video. We had been briefly interacting the end of last year to the beginning of this year. We stopped talking and he soft-launched a girlfriend. The timing felt very weird and very close, so I had commented something about I wonder if this was before, during, or after when we were talking, to which Carly saw my comment and DM'd me. Also, if you haven't watched Carly's videos, please go watch them. They are very important. She's talked a lot about what she's gone through, and it is, to me, very important for people to hear that and listen to her story.
This is 7 minutes long.
My personal interactions with Harry.
All right, I'm going to quickly go to the bathroom, but you guys can watch what she says. I'm going to listen from the bathroom, so I'll be back.
Photos that he had requested very specific ones of. I did not have a problem with sending photos to him. I was fine with being casual with him, but I was very upfront with him as well and let him know that I was looking for a relationship. And I did think that maybe he would be looking for one as well, because I didn't kind of see him, the way he presents himself online, as someone who would just be looking for explicit photos and having a very casual interaction with someone frequently. As we continued to speak a little bit more, he did inform me that there was no roster, essentially implying I was the only person he was talking to, the only person he was receiving photos from, and I was, again, fine with that. But of course, if you're going to tell me that there's no roster and I'm the only person you're talking to, I'm going to believe that. While my interactions and my time speaking with Harry were somewhat brief, and I did send him a good amount of explicit photos, I think my biggest disappointment was I had supported him as a fan, a supporter for a very long time. I really believed that he was a person who genuinely cared for women more than for just their bodies. And I understand that I was fine sending that content, but the interactions I had with him kind of just showed me that he really does kind of just care for at least my body more than who I am.
Exactly, girlfriend. He isn't there for you. He's there for your body. He looks at you as an item. He's a vile person. And this, I don't even know what to describe him. Like I don't even want to attack his facial appearances or whatever, but this fuckboy appearance. I don't care what he does in his personal time. In fact, it's probably pretty obvious that he has done this. But I do care about that shit he has done with Hannah. That's deplorable. But I want to hear what all these girls have to say.
After Carly had reached out, we started talking. We realized we had pretty much the exact same experience. Mine was just on the shorter end, and hers was a lot more intimate, I guess you could call it. It went on for a lot longer. They spoke a lot more. But she, of course, was under the impression that she was also the only one that he was talking to. And then the ball started rolling, and more girls came forward saying they thought they were the only one he was talking to because that was what he had told them. Our last conversation, I did let him know that I was very disappointed because he was very different than what I thought he would be like. He was different online than he is in real life.
Yeah. Because he toyed with your
I
emotions.
let her know that. I was really sad and upset, and
oh my god, it makes me wonder, how are these girls so oblivious to the way these people to how these guys act? Like, I'm not trying to victim shame, I'm not trying to discredit them, but how are you oblivious to how this dude acts to other people? How do you, like, do you even look? Do you even look at what he has said or what he has claimed online? He's a sensationalist. That's all. Like, if you can just recognize that he makes posts on X just to rile people up, that's a red flag right there. How do you not see that? And again, I'm not trying to discredit them, but I'm just questioning. Girls, you can do better. You could do so much better. Just look for the green flags in people. In fact, go for the boring type of dudes. Go for the dudes that just like that have like one hobby and they come home after work and they just care about you. You know, stop going with these dirtbags.
and bummed that someone that I thought really respected women and women's rights and stood up for women telling their stories and how they feel and how men made them feel. It really hurt to know that he was not the type of person that he presented himself to be online, to me at least. And then when I started to get to know the other incredible women that I've met through this, they all went through the exact same thing. The reason that I am making this video is because I feel it's very important to hold people accountable.
Oh, of course. It's always important.
Had watched Harry for a very long time, like I said, and his persona online, at least to me, was very different than who he was in real life. And that really kind of made me sad, bummed me out, upset me, because I felt like he was a person who was a safe space for a lot of people and a lot of women who had been through trauma, which, speaking of that, you can go watch Carly's story about how they began speaking. But I think it's very important to hold people accountable and have them be aware.
This comment actually is pretty accurate. It's conservative men, it's liberal men, it's men. I'm so sorry, dear, you're so brave for speaking out. I know how hard it can be, but you and these girls are making it so maybe anyone else won't have to go. So, this was what I'll say about that statement. There are definitely women out there that do the same exact shit. In fact, they might even try to justify it through a more sinister way. Harry is just a fuckboy. But what I will say is that it's true to the extent that right-leaning men, left-leaning men, center, up, down, left, right, in between, people in general just have these desires to be greedy with their emotions, with their pleasures and their urges, and they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to set boundaries or limits, and that's why we have a problem in this country with divorce rates. People need to set boundaries and limits. And before you start, doing this, start really thinking, is this person really the kind of person I want to trust? That's why I do what I do with my relationships. I vet people, like not just women. I vet everybody. Every single friend, like, they go through kind of like a vibe check. and it takes time to really understand people. Like my Discord server, I have my best friend. I have a very good friend of mine that we've been talking to, but there's another individual in there that I really don't like because he's kind of a closed-minded dipshit. But that's just my opinion. And he's also he just doesn't know when to stop. He doesn't understand. Hey, how much is too much? It's that kind of person. Like, let's respect our boundaries and our privacy. But that's going off into a different direction. All I'm trying to say is, if you are seeking a relationship, whether you're a man or a woman, just take a step back. Don't rush things. Be patient. Let these people speak through their actions. Let your potential partner speak through their actions. And I promise you, when you do that, you're more likely going to find success than you are going to go and then end up in these situations, which is regrettable in the slightest.
That the way they present themselves online should match who they are as a human and how they interact with other people and women who feel that you are a safe space offline. If I have learned anything from this experience, it's to not trust that people are going to be the exact same offline that they are online. And besides anything else that's happened, I have gained the most incredible group of friends that have dealt with this situation as well. They are some of the most beautiful people I've ever met. And for that, thank you, Harry. I am grateful that you were able to introduce me to some of my now very close friends. So,
all right, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. See, that kind of mentality, this girl power united as one, you still don't know these women. Like, that's your whole problem. Sarah, that's your whole problem right there. Stop immediately trusting people. She's too trusting. Even though I respect what Carly, I respect what Hannah says, you only have known each other for a few days. Stop rapidly assuming that you can put full faith in these people. Still have this on guard mentality. That's just my 2 cents, okay?
if nothing else came from that, I appreciate that. So again, I am grateful for this experience because of the people that I have met. But I think it is important to be consistent with what you believe in and your platform online, and not call women like Carly and I lunatics when we come forward and say that you hurt our feelings. It's very indicative of the type of person that you are, as opposed to just taking accountability and apologizing that you made someone feel a certain way. And I think when you have a platform as big as he does, that he holds men accountable for hurting women, I think it's important that he should do the same with his own actions. That is really all I have to say. I am showing all of the most incredible support to Carly. She is one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. And I am here for anyone who's experienced anything similar. And thank you for listening.
All right, cool. So we got the viewpoints of all the girls who came forward, who posted a video. Not all the girls, like, it's kind of a shame that she only got like 520 views, but I'll go ahead and put her video into my thread so that way people can find it. I don't even know if I don't even know if I can post it. It might be too big. Yeah, it's probably too big. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for right now, guys. So I'll just try to follow the whole situation, and see where it takes us. As far, because again, I never really make these kind of streams. I do stream about politics, but this isn't about politics. This is about like child safety. This is about women, protecting our women and stuff. I just find this to be deplorable behavior that has to be denounced in every which way. And I'm happy to do my part in denouncing Harry Sisson as a terrible human being. Anyway, have a good rest of your night, guys. I shall be ending the stream now. If you have any questions right now, please speak now or forever hold your peace. I also will ask, if you guys like the content, feel free to follow and set notifications for future videos. I would appreciate the support, and God bless America. Fight, fight, fight. So, take it easy, guys. Have a good rest of your night. We'll see ya. Bye. Oh, one thing I will say. I'm going to open up a space. I'm probably going to be the only one in there for a while, but if you want to tune in, talk about it for a little bit, just head on.